This is Blaine with S&P Traders, and I'm looking at stocks and watch for June the 6th. First one up, END, looking for continuation break over 4, those highs from March. If it does that, we still got a gap to fill towards 480-ish, 490 there, back in the from February when it gapped down. So I would not be surprised if this can break 4, it probably starts to speed up. So I'm actually holding a few overnight, anticipating that 4 break. If it doesn't, then I'll probably bail. ACTV, I'm looking at the 1-year chart here on this thing. We got a gap down in November, just kind of like E and D there, and this one's starting to work its way up back to fill that gap. So I took a few into close, holding this overnight as well, looking to see if we can't get this speed up out of it and push towards 8 or 850. VOCS, this is another one of those gap down charts that gap down just in April. So right at this point, I'm looking to see if we can continue through today's high, which was 944. If we can do that, then we should keep going. Definitely would like to see volume increase though, so be on the lookout for increasing volume and a follow-through play. DANG, this is a perfect continuation breakout today. You can see this trend is riding higher again. This is the 2-month chart. Each one of these candles represents one day. This is the past 2 months. It broke out over 4. I discussed it back then and at the beginning of May, but since then it's set up for a nice breakout again. This is what I call a continuation breakout because we got a pop. It peaked and then pulled back, held that trend line, and then it went all the way up to test those highs. And then when that supply level got taken out, it took off again today on huge volume. So this is classic. Even if you didn't play this thing, you can learn a lot from this pattern alone and recognize this and make money just off this pattern on other stocks in the future. So that was DANG play today, and we alerted it pretty much right off the open, busted through that 680 mark and took off all the way. So now I'm looking for either a gap up, maybe possibly get a quick push, and then possibly short it. Otherwise, if it opens weak, then maybe a red to green to take it long again and to see if we can't get back to those highs from today. We'll just have to see what it does in the morning, considering this market and how it was down today. A lot of things are kind of up in the air, so that's why it's important to join us in the trading room, guys. If you want to make some money, if you're serious about making money, then I'd highly recommend joining us in our trading room. Let's look at a couple more. This is a penny stock, NORX. This thing flew today on huge volume, considering this is a pump and dump. It finally took off and squeezed the shorts there. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing gap up higher and then maybe get a morning run and then be ready to tank. And when it tanks, it's going to tank hard. So, but again, this is just kind of one of those things we'll have to see how it trades in the moment. And if it's there to short it, then we'll short it. If it sets up to go long, then who knows? Maybe we'll take it long. Speaking of the overall market that I mentioned a few minutes ago, as you could tell, I mean, SPY, the S&P 500 ETF, was down from 163 to 161 today on increasing volume. Now, there is going to be some support at 160 based on this resistance level that got taken out when it peaked and then dipped and then peaked and broke out again through those highs. So that level turns into a support level. And if we drop through 161, it might turn around and bounce off that 160 mark and pop back up. So that's going to be a key level tomorrow to watch, 160, if you want to play the SPY. Otherwise, if that 160 doesn't hold and it starts to fail, then it could be in for pretty nice pullback, which means that a few other things will be in play, such as a couple of the stocks I mentioned in chat, and I also have a forum just on these things. So UVXY starting to come off the bottom. If it can break through today's highs and the market keeps going down, then this thing should get a pop out of it. Depends on how fast the market tanks too. If the market speeds up to the downside, this will speed up to the upside, kind of like as shown there on those days. Another one I like to play, FAZ, similar chart right now, made some higher lows, kind of like the market's made some lower highs. So if we can get through those highs and the market can make some lows, then FAZ may be in play again as well. So there you guys go. There's some stocks to watch for June 6th. Obviously, there'll be more in the trading room, but not a ton, not a ton of great charts right now. I think a bunch of stuff just gonna have to hit my scan, and we'll go from there. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I will see you in the trading room.